Starting with the crude prices, which have shown a rise today after the dollar weakened in the Asian trade. The Brent crude prices have reclaimed the $116 per barrel mark, and the NYMEX crude also is trading at around $97 per barrel. Improving economic outlook has raised the hopes of increased energy consumption, but the ongoing tensions in the Middle East is keeping a cap on the strong rally in crude. On your screens, nearly a percentage point of a gain coming in for the Brent, and the NYMEX crude prices also have turned around on the higher side, 97 just about holding in that space. The gold prices also are on the rise today, but the precious metal is trapped between the $1,660–$1,680 per ounce range. The global economy is looking up. Investors are shifting from gold into equities, and that's keeping the prices tempered here. But more than 0.25% of a rise coming in here as well. 1680 and plus is holding on your screens. Let's take it to the commodity experts then, and joining us on the show is Sushil Sinha. He's country head Kavi Comtrade, and also joining us is Vijay Bhambani, author and CEO at bsplindia.com. Sushil, hi, welcome. Let's start with you first. And what's your sense coming in for the precious metal prices now at 1680 in the international markets? Where do you see the prices going there and the domestic trades as well?
Yeah, we have seen that this band 1670 to 1680 gold has been moving in this band only, and though certain positive data has come from Eurozone, basically that has given a much breathing space to gold and silver, and that's why we are seeing a positive upward movement. However, in the evening session we do not have much news from US zone, and therefore it is likely to stay in this, and maybe it can touch to 1690. So for the day, we can say, for the today's trade, we can say that it should be on the buying zone, and we can go for a long position, though there is not much even at a higher end also. So overall trend is in a very range bound, but for the day we will be on the buying side, and target can be on 1690 on the MCX.
Sushil, also how would you be looking at the silver prices, because we've seen some bit of a support coming in for that sector as well?
Yeah, taking cues from gold, silver has moved up, and I think it is 200 to 300 rupees upward movement we can see in the evening. Maybe around 58,700 to 900 range we can have the movement. Therefore, buying again at the dip is advisable. However, it is totally intraday because of any major news is awaited in the evening. Only ISM non-manufacturing data is there, so not having much impact on, though dollar is likely to further decline. So being on the buying side is the best strategy. However, looking for intraday trade only, and squaring should be done at the end of the day.
Vijay, how would you look at the sector? Gold and silver, both those prices have seen good gains today. Asia and Europe now as well. Do you see it trending out in the US session as well?
Manisha, I don't see much of an opportunity for a serious trader here, unless you're really playing for maybe 100 rupees in gold and 200 to 300 rupees in silver, which as a trading strategy can be fairly fraught with risk, because you can be chopping in and out of trades a couple of times a day with not really too much to show by way of absolute rupee amounts in terms of trading profits. Where levels are concerned, I would want to wait for 59,450 or 59,500 to be overcome on silver before latching on to the buy side. In gold, I'm talking of the 5th April series, because the February series ends today. I would want to wait for 31,100 to be overcome before I would go out and buy gold. At this point in time, I don't really want to short either gold or silver. As a matter of fact, I'm relatively more bullish on silver than I am on gold since many months now. But short selling any of these is ruled out, and I would want to wait for a breakout, which I have been waiting for a fairly long time, which is not happening. Unless that really happens, no fresh trades.
Sushil, let's talk about the energy sector now. And the crude prices, while yesterday was a weaker day, has seen opportunity buying on those levels, and we are back up nearly 1% as we talk about that on the screens there. How would you look at the crude prices now?
Though crude has moved up, however, today we have this inventory report tomorrow, basically tomorrow inventory, and that is likely to be on the higher side. So that is going to give a cap on the crude oil prices. And further, in support of that, we have seen Middle East tension little bit easing up. So therefore, counting on those both the news, we will be having the selling view rather, and selling at the higher level is good strategy, and maybe target can be around 5120 for 5130. So selling can be done around 5200 level.
Vijay, what's your sense coming in? Because on the charts and fundamentally as well, the crude prices have been looking at support. There is the US inventory data that the markets are expecting tomorrow in the evening. How would you want to trade the crude ahead of that?
Manisha, I talked about 51.40 and then 51.20 as supports on the MCX, and you have seen 51.25 on an intraday basis as the low for today. I would want to watch that low as a support during the day and as a matter of fact for the coming 2 or 3 trading sessions. If this low is violated, there is further downside in the offing. I am not really very enthused by the small uptick of 0.25% at this point in time that I'm seeing on MCX. I would prefer to wait and await a breakout above the 5200, 5225 band all over again before going on to the buy side. If at all I feel crude is warranting a buy on declines, I would rather wait for 5065 levels, which is far, far away from here, before taking a call. Even then I would want to wait and see the correlation between price, volume and open interest before taking a call.
Sushil, what's your sense coming in for the base metal prices? Nickel, zinc at around 1-year highs. We've seen copper prices also trade up to nearly 1-month highs. How would you be looking at this sector today?
Yeah, among the base metal, though we have seen a negative trend only. However, since Chinese buying was the news in the last week actually, and today some Eurozone data has supported. However, selling could be a good strategy at the higher level, and maybe like copper can be sold around 445 for a little gain of 440 target, and similarly nickel can be around 1000 level for the target of 970 or 965. Similarly, other base metals too. However, since we know that next week there is a complete holiday in Chinese side, so that is overall trend seems to be on the downside, and little bit buying has already been done. So we'll be having a selling in the entire base metal complex.
Vijay, which metal would you pick ahead of the Chinese holidays? There, from Monday onwards, of course, the participation would go down in the Asian markets, but for this week, what are you looking at?
Manisha, I'm not really very comfortable buying anything at all in the base metals pack because A, you're going to have very truncated participation. B, upsides are holding, but it's more like the prices are getting stuck in a groove. They're unable to break out above resistance levels. They're not really going down and witnessing a sharp crack below the previous swing lows either. So this kind of move can be fairly frustrating, and unfortunately, when prices are stuck in a range, it's like compressing a spring for a very long time. Now, when you let go, the direction in which the market finds equilibrium, the price movements can be fairly exaggerated. So, if at all the price was to go against me after such a sideways movement, I would stand to have a significant drawdown in capital in terms of span margins, mark-to-markets, etc. So I'd rather wait for a breakout in either direction and then latch on to the trend rather than trying to anticipate the trend and then risk a loss.